Brings me in. Probably the only time I got away with the book, right?
Oh, it's a great book.
The latest book, Digital Libido, and it's called Sex, Power, and Violence in the Network Society, so that people understand the connections between the two of us.
Right.
What I did as a philosopher when I came to Tantra is that Tantra for me is another name for postponing your rewards now to get a better reward later.
Right.
So it's really part of growing up. So it's like the child instantly wants rewards for anything the child does. Like,
right.
So if I did something now, I want immediately to be Picasso if I painted a painting, if I'm only 5 years old, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not Picasso yet. Obviously not. I might never be.
Right.
And this learning lesson you go through childhood when you finally become an adult is you realize that actually the really great things in life are something you have to work hard for, and you don't get them instantly. And actually, if you withhold the reward for your behavior and actually postpone it and reinvest whatever you achieved in the future, actually the world will be much bigger in the future. To me, that is a fundamental tantric approach to reality.
Absolutely.
So this is what Tantra means to me, working as a philosopher, but what I'm really interested in with you, and what fascinates me, is that I come from the Freudian and Jungian school of thinking, which is that we have always in society tried to, we've always underrated the power of sexuality, and actually the sex drive itself is the life force. I mean, so everything starts with sexuality, meaning it's a minefield, but it's also the motor behind everything else that human beings do.
Absolutely.
I talk about sexuality in this sense, but you talk about sex directly.
Yes.
It's always about both, right?
Yeah, I mean, coming back to what you said before about delaying gratification, you know, I have this kind of, refer to a study, we call it the 2 cookie, 1 cookie, experiment, where they asked a bunch of kids, if you can have 1 cookie now or 2 cookies after dinner, which one do you choose? And they measured the children over a long period of time, and they found out that the children that could delay that gratification were more successful in many different ways to measure that over many years. And I think for many people, that moment of orgasm, whether it's the ejaculation or it's the clitoral orgasm on the woman, it seems to be quite similar. A 5-second, quite intense squeezing of energy that feels good. To give up that for a lot of people is just like, why would I give that up? That's the best 5 seconds of my life. But what we found is that by delaying that gratification, by not squeezing the energy, but allowing it to build up in the energy in the body, that most people seem to be operating, I don't know, I'm guessing, but somewhere around 5%, 10% of their full sexual energy, which seems to take some time to build up. Who knows exactly long, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, who knows? But if you build up that energy, you can do quite a lot of more creative things, like you get more creative ideas. There seems to be a way that you become more sensitive, somehow a little bit more empathy, and especially when you're in the sexual act, you can sort of feel much more what the other person's feeling and what they need, rather than going for that orgasm. And that's one of the main complaints of women, that men generally have sex too fast. But when the guys go, well, I have to slow down, I'm getting too close to that point of no return, then the man in a heterosexual relationship will slow down to that speed that the woman wants, and he'll have more sensitive, he'll be able to feel her more, and that just makes for much better sex. So a lot of the people that have been practicing this renunciation of the orgasm tantra seem to find that their sex lives really improve. And I mean, you don't really need to go more than that, So I always say to people, try it for a few months. Try not, squeezing and, having that little peak orgasm, and see what happens. Maybe it changes your mood, maybe it changes your creativity, maybe it makes you more empathetic. Try it out for yourself. Some people don't notice it, but the majority of people seem to notice quite big changes in their lives. So yeah, working with the sex, I think, is really important.
Isn't it kind of weird that we know that sex and sexuality are probably among the most important things in our life, maybe the most important thing that everything else is dependent on, and still we've gone into this culture of instant gratification worship? It's like when it comes to sex and sexuality, it seems we all think we're born knowing it, and we don't have to learn anything. When in reality, that's really tragic, because we know everything else we're going to be good at in life, we have to practice and we have to learn, and we need teachers, we need somebody to teach us to do it properly and do it in the right way. And this whole thing with Tantra right now, which is really hot and is growing really rapidly now in Europe, is really one big catching up to something we should have done decades ago, which is
Right.
really teach young people properly what sex and sexuality are,
Right.
and how you can practice it to live a really rich and fulfilling life.
Right.
Because the whole instant gratification culture, which is, of course, it thrives on pornography and things like that. We don't moralize against pornography, but when you replace sex and sexuality in your life with like other instant gratification cults of different kinds in your life, because you think that's what you should do, you're really missing out some of the most important things in your life.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And we nickname it McDonald's spirituality.
Yeah.
People
Yes.
want the results really quickly without having to do the hard work. And that's why I think just putting something up the front like renunciation, the orgasm, you automatically, filter out a lot of people that want that instant gratification. You say, no, it's going to take some practice. It's going to take hard work. You do have to give up the cookie before dinner. It does take, some investment to get like anything, to get a good outcome. So, yeah.
But like